become more than apparent over these years that I need to do a video on how to use a faculty restroom lock, aka hotel function lock, whether it was a D85 or as here ND85. We got the Rhodes handle, 626 finish. I have a hotel cylinder I'll put in it. I'll show you how this works. The indicator button. I have the key that fits it, the change key. And when someone goes in and turns the button, it locks everybody else out when they exit the restroom. So you need a bypass key, which is got cuts on both sides. Trying to explain it to people is very confusing for them. We understand it. So I'm going to show you how this all works, why you need a bypass key, how to use the bypass key, and how to fix the problem so we don't have to drive out to solve your staff issue of not knowing how to use a restroom. Well, this lock, they always can turn the button. So let me get started on that. Oh, one more thing. The bypass key is 35102 dash whatever your keyway is. It could be C, E, E, F, whatever it is, or whatever keyway you're using. But if you're using the Schlage lock or a Schlage key, it's instead of a 35101 or 35100 or whatever, it's 35-102. 102 plus your keyway, whatever the keyway is. So, also in the box comes with a long. This is the tailpiece for a D series 85. There's a longer tailpiece inside the package. It comes with a longer tailpiece. So we're gonna swap that out. I'll show you another trick to put these in, because if you take the cap off, the cylinder comes apart and springs start flying. You'll see. But we'll save that for last, or second to last. So I'm going to install the lock in this 2x6, 2x8. I've used it to mock up digital lock, so I'm going to use these holes, latch, whole 9 yards. We'll show you how it all works using this display board, mounting board, practice board, whatever you want to call it. So, installing the lock, like putting on a regular lock, lock in, latch, lock in, bolts on the inside, through bolts. So I'm gonna get back to you on it. This must be important. It's in orange. Do not discard tail pieces. Importante. Important. Talking about these tail pieces. I've never used one of those, probably interchangeable core. Yeah, I see. And whatever that one is, we use this one. In the box, garbage. This is the new design. Oops, pardon me. You got cover plate. You got the dead latch. Rest of it is not needed. You got all your instructions, your check. Done so many of these, don't need them. You got your installation template, don't need it. You got your tailpiece, you'll need it. You got all your screws. They got the curly tail poke tool. Put one of these on your rings, it'll help. Now, it won't work for marks because it's need a longer one to go through the discussion plate. Okay. side handle. Inside this, it's got one. Split plate kind of holds it on there while you're mounting it. And this is the button they keep turning. Shouldn't turn. It's got adjustments on it, so you can adjust it for the thickness of the door. You make it shorter. I'm gonna leave it long for now. Okay, you got a little gauge as to the thickness of the door, so you would thread this in or thread it out. I'll leave it like that. Or to hand it. Left hand, right hand. It's just a lever lock, not a big deal. So this all the latch. Got to do it old school. Probably edit most of this out. I don't really know how to do this. Don't really need to see how to put in a screw. All I'll do is I'll install it so you can see the back side. So take the lock, no cylinder in it yet. Put it in the door. And being that this is a 2x4, it's a little narrow, so you have spacer plates. Put a spacer plate on this side too. I think that'll work. Okay, where did the screw go? Did I lose it already? After further review, I did need a spacer plate there. No. Let me put it together. I'll get back to you. It's on. That's on. There's the retainer clip. There's the handle line. These are brutal clips. They make you work for it. Especially trying to get them off using this little thing. brutal. Okay. So how these work is when you go inside, you push the button, and when you exit, you have to do that, it pops out. Or if you bump the button on the way out the door, when the door closes, it pops the button out. Somehow they turn this button. I don't know how they do it. It is a function of these to be able to turn them in case the bathroom has an issue, the plumbing's down, it's backed up, whatever it is. The newer ones are a little harder to do, but they get them turned. And when they're turned horizontally, when you exit, it doesn't pop out. When the door closes, it doesn't pop out. So, to try to explain to people, this is what you gotta do. You gotta turn the button so the holes are vertical. I don't know how they turn it to that position to begin with, but they do. And then they're locked down and they complain, oh, we can't get in the bathroom, bathroom's broke, right? And then they send someone over, don't know what they're doing, beat the pin in on the outside, and then destroys the cylinder and all that kind of fun stuff. So, if it's like this, you use your bypass key, get in. If it's like that, you gotta turn it to where it's vertical. Then it's back to working properly. Okay, let me turn it around and we'll put the cylinder in the other side. Remember, holes vertical where you want it to be. Let's take a dive into how these cylinders actually work. Inside here, when the button gets pushed on the inside, it throws the indicator out. When the indicator is thrown out, it pushes a pin. Do I have one of them somewhere? Yeah, right here. Okay. So this is the indicator. You can notice the indicator pin that goes through lock. This is the back side with the tailpiece of that. That's the side that goes out the front. In that little notched area right there, I don't know if you can see it, there's a pin that kind of rides on it. And it's just like a little ball bearing. And when you push the button, it's usually retracted back in the slot. When you push the button, it rides up on the ramp and blocks the keyway. So a regular key won't enter the lock. It won't go in. It stops. So when you turn the button, that indicator's out there and nobody can get in the bathroom. And so people come along and they start hitting it with a hammer or whatever they have. And it is mushroom this down and it doesn't work and they complain it's not working. But we give them bypass keys, which has the notches on both sides. The key machine snapped a couple of these things off. But it'll bypass that ball bearing in there so you can get in. Then you can get in, you open the door, and you turn the button so that the holes are vertical. But I guarantee you they're like this, so that you make them vertical. Problem solved. We don't need to go out there and do anything. We teach them this, and they, over years people leave and come and go, and nobody remembers, and it becomes a nightmare. Hence the reason I'm putting the digital locks on wherever we can. So let me change the tailpiece on this, and I'll do that right now. So I can use my little poke tool. Oh, I make a 9-bit key. It's grind it down to the deepest cut possible, and you put it in there. That holds. This has a spring on it. So if you take the cap off, this goes shooting out, and sometimes that ball bearing or whatever flies out. So this will disappear. The spring will be gone. But if you put a 9-bit key in there, that little ball bearing holds this and a spring from flying out. Have I done it without? It's not really a ball bearing. It's a little small little round thing. See, if I were to take this key out, this 9-bit key, see how it could fly out? Well, so you don't have that problem. Put that in there. Done. Now sometimes these indicator things bind on the cylinder because this has to get pushed in for it to push the tailpiece. When you push the button inside, push the tailpiece, which then pushes the indicator out. Sometimes that binds up. We just file them down a little bit so it works smooth. Put it back together. Now, that's the longer tailpiece that came with the lock. See the difference? This is the D series, this is the ND. We're working on NDs. ND85s. Well, now that we got that done, these are a bit more difficult because you gotta kind of come on, you gotta push this down with the tailpiece a little bit, get in there straight. I got it started. Okay. It's not in the right position. Now that would be for knob lock. This is the hotel function knob lock. You went on that side. But we have a lever lock. So it has to be like that. Let's get it started. Thread it on there. I'll back this up a notch. No, the 9-bit key don't work, but your change key will. Make sure it comes out. The cylinder's not working properly. Okay, now we're going to install this in the lock. Since there's no cylinder in the lock, we don't need to turn anything. But you take your poke tool and put it in a little hole there on the side of the lock, mostly on the latch side. These are brutal. And it's off. They redid the spindle so we don't have any insert in here. Take your cylinder, put it in there, put your key in. Now, even worse going back on. You gotta push the cylinder and turn it. Go. Got the cylinder in. Yay, Tim. Sometimes you have to adjust the plate out so that the indicator is proper. You know, it'll go out and you see it. You see it blocks the key. Can't get in. The door closes, indicator goes back in. When the handle gets turned, indicator goes back in. But like I was telling you, they turn the button, and the only way to get in is with a bypass key. So you bypass key in. Now, if the indicator button, like say someone's in there and they're having an issue, health issue. They didn't turn the button, but they're locked in there. Maybe whatever reason, they're having a bad day and they just can't get up, out, to open the door, whatever. So we have to buy it. It unlocks it. You turn the key and it unlocks it. But if it was turned, like I showed you earlier, I don't know how they do it, but they do it. So if it's turned, you would come up, the indicator's out, you're locked, nobody can get in. You're locked, all your faculty out. Put the bypass key in. It would be easier if it was a regular standard Schlage, but we have special keyways. Now that it's turned, the indicator doesn't go in when you open the door. Go in, turn the button so that it holds the vertical, and the lock is working again. Clear as mud. So look around when you have, for one of these bypass keys that has the notches on there, the key cuts on one side and the warding cuts on the other side, because these will work in warded cylinders. That's what the notches on the bottom for, which are usually found in rim or mortise locks. They do make mortise hotel function lock, bathroom function locks, staff restroom function locks, and they would have a warded cylinder. I haven't seen one of those in years, but we have some around. Anyhow, that's it. Schlage ND85 hotel function, staff restroom function lock.